Hey everybody, my name's Aaron Dodge. I'm the founder of Archaic Logic, and I make video games. Haha, it can happen. You can grow up and do that. It's awesome. I'm really excited to kind of share with you everything that kind of goes into that. I know you're all thinking about what you want to do when you grow up, and well, you don't have to grow up. You can be like me, still have fun in our old age. I'm excited to show you a little bit of everything that I do. But without further ado, let me show you the upcoming title, The Chronicles of Enoch. This is a game I've been working on. Just take a look. And that's my game. I hope you love what you see. I'm super excited about it. There's a lot more that I want to show, but I'm kind of holding off a little bit. But yeah, so as far as game development goes, right, there are some key components to this, right? You have game design, you have art, you have animation, okay? You have programming, and you have music and sound design. These are like kind of the main components, kind of everything that goes into it, right? Now, as far as music goes, I have an amazing music composer I'm blessed to have, Chris Valena over at Vedius. He is brilliant. He just makes music like I've never heard it, and how fast he makes it is blows me away. But basically, my job when it comes to music is I think, hey, how do I want the player to feel in this moment during this time during this level? How is it that I want the player to feel? So that's kind of the like mood setting thing that I'm looking for. So what I end up doing is I actually ask him to compose the music for me based off of some parameters, which are like, do I want the player to be happy, sad? Do I want them to feel like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here, I gotta run? Those are all different things that I'm thinking about when it comes to the music. So he creates it, he sends it back over to me, and it's my job to basically go, okay, is this doing everything I want it to do? Does it sound right? How does it feel? And that's kind of where I come from on the music component. So I'm not very musically inclined, but I'm lucky enough and blessed enough to actually have Chris working alongside me on the music part. As far as what I do, I handle the game design, I handle the animation, I handle the art and programming. Okay, these are the main things that I handle in this studio. The smaller the studio, the more jobs you sort of have, or the more hats you wear. Okay, so I wear a lot of hats right now, as I am still a small studio, and we're looking to grow, and we're looking to bring some people in and hopefully alleviate that a little bit coming up here soon. But until then, I handle a lot of things. Okay. As far as game design and what that is, okay, it's basically taking all these tools. You have art, you have animation, music, programming, and you're taking that all and you're creating an experience. Okay, so a game designer is building a world for you to enjoy. Okay, so I want you to go in and meander around and knock on doors and open up chests and all these kind of things, but I'm leading you through an experience, okay? And telling a story along the way. That's the best way I can describe it. Now, the tone of the game, the art style, all these choices, and kind of keeping it cohesive, that's up to the game designer. The game designer and the art director, depending on how big the studio is. But for me, I'm basically all the above. So game designer, art director, it's all part of the same job. Okay. But I'm also handling the levels and putting it all together, and that's all going to be done inside the game engine. Now I'm going to basically run through these things kind of briefly, just kind of touch up on them, but these are all jobs that are in the industry that you could just go and you could just be an environment artist, a character artist, or kind of like a prop artist. There's all these different jobs in the industry as far as art goes, programming. There's tons of programming jobs, and as well as animation. You can do animation jobs. You could be working 2D animation. You could be working 3D animation. Okay, so there's lots of different fields inside of this one industry. Okay, kind of keep it all going. Heck, you could even get into finance. If you wanted to be an accountant for a game company, you could be involved with making games, but you're handling their money. So, like, it's a very wide industry, and there's lots of different jobs and lots of different ways to get involved. Even if you're not, say, artistically inclined, you're not musically inclined, maybe you're good with numbers, maybe you're good with marketing. These are all things that you can do inside the industry, and these are some of the many hats that I actually have to wear here at Archaic Logic.
First things first on the agenda would be animation. So this is Enoch. This is the main character of our game. Okay, this is his run cycle. All right, so how we do this is I actually animate everything in Adobe Flash. Okay, this is the program called Adobe Flash. Nowadays it's called Adobe Animate. I do have an older software because I have an older software license, and it allows me to use this. So I draw all of these frames, each one of these. So this one, this one, this one, this one, all of these frames, each individual frame. Now, how animation works is there a bunch of individual pictures, right? Your eye sees them, and your brain links them together and makes it look like it's moving. Okay? That's basically how it works. This is drawn at 24 frames per second, and it's held on twos, which is one drawing for every 2 frames. Okay, very much like Disney does it. I actually got to learn how to animate under Aaron Blaise, who he directed Brother Bear. So I get to learn a little bit about Disney animation, and that's kind of helped me get to where I am right now. So, okay. How it works for games is that you have to create each of these individual states. So he's running, boom, I want him to be able to run. If you're not touching the controller, then he's idling. This is called idling. So he's just standing there. So I have like a little kind of cool animation for you to see while he's waiting. Right? And then if he's jumping, he jumps. If, all the different other things he can do, like attacks and so on. Next we have programming. Now this is an extremely crucial component to game development. See, without it, none of it works. You just have some pretty art and some nice animations, but none of it actually works. So this brings everything together. Okay? The piece of software that I use is Microsoft Visual Studio. I like to program in here. I like the way it looks. Right, when I'm coding, I like the colors, sequences. I also like the IntelliSense. Now, IntelliSense, it helps you finish coding. So when you're typing code, it basically goes, hey, did you mean to type this or did you mean to type this? Because the smallest error with coding will actually mess up a lot of different things. Okay, so you got to be very careful. Syntax matters, right? Our semicolons, make sure things are all spelled correctly, and so on. Okay, so as we scroll down, this is just a bunch of code, right? And if you see things that are green, this is all commented out. This is some old code, but I keep it in here because I like to, have it if I knew it worked before. Like there's just little test things that I do to kind of make sure the code is working, and so on. But as we keep scrolling, this is just a bunch of code. This right here is just one piece of code, and this is for Enoch's movement. This is the player controller. So that way, when you press the jump button, he jumps, right? Because without this, none of that would work. Okay, so programming is a very crucial component. Again, without it, you don't have game development. Okay, so it's exciting. It's like learning a language, but the people you're talking to aren't people; they're computers. Okay, so it's sort of a language that allows us to talk to a computer to tell it how to run our software. Next, we have our game engine. This is called Unity. This is what I use. This is where everything comes together, right? You have your programming, your art, your animations, your sound effects, your music. This is where everything comes together and it becomes a game, okay? This game engine allows you to put all these pieces together, and then when you can export out a game. So call it the factory, if you will, right? All the pieces are getting made, everything gets assembled here, and then out the other side pops out a video game. That's our game engine.
Well, everyone, I want to thank you so much for coming on this adventure with me, getting to see a little bit about what I do making games. I hope it inspires you. I hope you know that you can reach for the stars. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send them my way. I'm happy to answer them, and I hope you all have a great week. Take care. Bye.